Namaste everyone, I'm Sushmita, your Guru Yogi, and in today's class, we're going to go through a sequence called Yoga for Emotional Release. So, whether you've been going through a lot of stuff lately and there's just a lot of emotions that are coming up, or if you feel like you need to release tension in the body, we're going to use the body as a vessel to really feel those emotions and soften around it. So, the intention of today's class is just going to be to meet our edge and soften. So, whatever you're going through, I hope this class will give you some relief and also some nice big stretching. So, if you have maybe a blanket available and a pillow, feel free to join me on the mat and maybe just get your fingertips onto your knees. And we'll start by just very slowly taking the shoulders up towards the ears and making some shoulder rotation. So, we want to go really slowly here, guys. Just squeezing the shoulder blades up towards the ears, and you can take them back and down. This is just a small reminder to come into the present moment, wherever you are, whatever you're going through, to really thank yourself and honor yourself for showing up to the mat today. And the other way, if you went forward, it's time to go backward. Let's try and sit a little bit taller. Let's try and lengthen that lower part of the lower back. And one last time, guys, come on. Squeeze the shoulders, roll out the shoulders, and maybe give it a nice big wiggle. Move the body in any way that feels comfortable. We're going to first just warm up the neck. So I want you guys to walk out your left hand just a little bit till whatever feels comfortable and get the right ear towards the right shoulder. Now if this is too easy for you and you don't really feel the stretch, I want you to take your right hand and just hang on to that rib cage. So this way what you're doing is you're giving the body a cue to really soften, and I want you to catch the breath with your hands. So making sure to stay stable through the upper body, rolling the shoulder blades back and down, and just getting the right ear over to the right shoulder and combing out any of the tension along that left side. In our yoga classes, we always start by stopping. So really observe the mind, observe wherever it is, and see if you can minimize that rushing. In Sanskrit, we call these vittis. So really using the breath to slow down the mind. So you can find some space as you slowly come back to the center. We're just going to take the right hand, walk it over, and then get the left hand onto the rib cage, and then take the left ear over towards the left shoulder. Maybe even take a variation and smile. Lift through the chest and release the head. And deeper breaths into the lower parts of the lower lungs, where the calming receptors exist. And just trying to slow down the breath and holding yourself up, finding this sense of I am responsible for my feelings. I am responsible for the way I feel and the way I react. Slowly bring your head back to the center, and you can bring both the hands just onto the knees. You can just give yourself a few seated cat-cows. As you inhale, send the chest forward, lift the head up, and as you exhale, curl and round the spine. Perhaps if this feels too static, you can take a few circles, one way or the other way. Usually I find that when I'm feeling a lot, I move my body and it feels like medicine. So I need to do this really slowly and mindfully to get to that place. So I need to observe each of those micro movements and then observe what my mind is telling me. So I'm going to stop talking for a bit, and you guys are just going to find some organic movement. And whenever you feel ready, just coming back to the center, we're going to take the arms out and away and send the arms forward and reach back. So the action is that I'm moving forward with my torso and I'm moving backward with my torso, but my hands are going out in front, coming back, and then moving. So I really want you guys to feel into this and use the breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Very easy breaths, but long through the hands. Close your eyes and just feel into this movement. Almost like a clearing of the heart space. Just visualize your heart space like you're peeling open two curtains in your chest and observing any emotions, any thoughts, any feelings that come up as you do this. Maybe you want to speed it up. Maybe you want to go slower and feel the silence. Just listen to your body. And ask yourself, in this moment, what am I feeling? Keep going with the arms. Every emotion serves a purpose. Fear is here to protect us. Sadness is here for a purpose. Guilt is here for a purpose. Keep going, guys. It's just about finding that purpose and allowing it to exist. I know it hurts with the arms, but we're nearly there. Last 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down. Palms to chest. Maybe bring one hand onto your heart, the other hand onto your belly. Coming back to home base. As you take a deep breath in, just watch your chest rise, watch your rib cage swell. And as you exhale, just feel the breath going into your belly, soften your belly, loosen your belly. And stay locked in this present moment. As you begin to move, we're going to get the hands down and just come down into all fours. And as you guys might know, we just get the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. We're going to take a few cat-cows, but if this feels too conventional for you, you can take some circles. I like to go forward and send my hands a little bit forward so I can really get leverage as I make these rotations. We're going to go both ways. You have the option of even going over to one side, coming back to the center, over to the other side. Just find what feels good for you. And finding the sense of play. Usually when we're caught up with emotions, it's because we've forgotten our connection to ourselves. And then slowly coming back to the center, I want you guys just to get your forearms down. So perhaps that means walking your arms a little bit forward. You should be able to get just your forearms down and lift back up. So we're going to repeat this movement and tap into the breath. One breath, one movement, slow and steady. Keep it going. Find the connection with the earth and lift up. Keep going, guys. And as you do this, I want you guys just to think and invite in the intention of forgiveness. Perhaps it's forgiveness of yourself. Perhaps it's forgiveness of another person. Just invite in this memory, this situation, and keep going with the forearms. Keep working on those triceps. Keep trying to get those forearms in full contact while the mind is engaged in healing itself and forgiving. Keep going. Give it to Mother Earth. Keep going. 8, 7, strong through the triceps, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, slowly coming up. We're going to let it go now, so I want you guys to walk in your left palm, lift your right hand up, twist towards the sky, and we're going to thread the needle through and rest that shoulder blade down. You can walk the top arm out or even just, cross the legs behind you. The idea is to try and find the space of comfort and of a good deep stretch. Breathing deep into the belly. Observe the mind. See if you can soften your jaw, soften your forehead. And see if you can let the corners of your eyes just smile a little bit. Releasing any gripping in the shoulders or gripping in the arms. And allow yourself to really melt here. One more deep breath in. One more long breath out. Draw the navel into the spine as you walk back that arm. Use yourself to lift yourself and stretch that arm once again above you. And then release. We're just going to switch sides. Left hand goes up this time, threading it through. And as you stay here and breathe, just remain still. And on that next exhale, let's slowly lift back up onto all fours and really see how you're feeling from the left side and the right. We're slowly going to tuck the toes and send the hips up, keeping the knees nice and generously bent, trying to get the chest towards the thighs. Slowly lift up, send the hips back, and then bend again. Chest to your thighs, curl your head in. Send the hips back, try and look between the thumbs. And then nose to your knees, chest to your thighs, curl and round. Let's try that one more time. Look between your palms, lengthen and draw the navel in. Exhale as you bend. Release and let go. Slowly taking small steps towards the front of the mat. When you make your way up to the top of the mat, just releasing your whole spine onto your thighs. You can even grab opposite elbows and just let the head hang low. And once more. You can bend one leg, you can bend the other leg. We're going to bob it over to one side, coming back through the center and over to the other side. Then back through the center, just going to stay here. And as you stay here, bend the knees and try and sink low. And then straighten the knees and send the head down. Trying to reach with the elbows towards the floor. Bend the knees, sink low into your squat pose. And then once again, Strengthen those hamstrings, send the hips towards the sky, forearms towards the floor. One more time, guys. Feel into each of the movements and observe where your mind is as you do this. Excellent. We're slowly just going to get the left arm down on the mat. Stretch and lengthen the right arm up and look past that thumb if possible. If not, you can even take a bind or a bandha by bringing the hand down onto that left thigh. Keep sending the body weight forward and keep pushing through that left hand and breathing deep into the belly, soft into the belly. 3, 2, and 1. Gracefully bend the knees. Send the right hand down and lift the left hand up and reach. Straighten those legs, and you can maybe even take that bind. But just making sure that you're looking over the shoulder, and don't forget to smile. 3. Last 2. Keep moving the body weight forward. And 1. Slowly release that hand down. If you can touch both your hands to the floor, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, bend the knees, chair pose. And exhale, Samasthiti, hands to the side. Alright guys, so you guys are going to sit down into your chair. And as you do this, as you sink into your chair and get your hands up, we're going to go halfway down, so your hands come in front. Notice how my hips are still moving towards the back and my heels are nice and rooted. So the more I send my hands forward, the more I'm creating these 2 actions. So I want you guys to send the hands forward, send the hips back, reach the hands up, reach the hands back, and we're going to fold over our thigh, and then we're going to go back, and we're going to lift up into our chair and stand up. So we're going to do this drill a couple of times. It's going to really work your core and you're going to start to sweat. So if you guys are excited, get ready, shake out the hands, shake out the legs, shake out anything from the mind, and sink low. Let's go into our chair. Really sink the butt low, send the hands out, draw the navel in, tuck your pelvis, halfway, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Try and fold over your thighs, hands go behind, look down. 5, 4, 3, 2, sink back, halfway, 5, 4, 3, 2, and chair. 5, 4, sink a little lower, 2, and 1, lift up, release, 2, and back into it, chair. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, halfway. Draw the navel in for 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way. Fold down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and halfway. Let's sink, engage for 3, 2, 1, and chair. Lift up. I know it burns. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift up, release. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last time, engage. You can go slower, but feel into it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and halfway. I want you guys just to visualize an emotion or a feeling or whatever you're working with as if you were holding it in front of you. 3, 2, and 1. As you let go, release, and let the top of your head come down to the floor. Halfway, engage with it, breathe with it, stay with it, and chair. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Standing up, 2, and 1. We're going to start to do swings and use the breath here. So inhale, lift the hands up, and exhale, you're going to almost like smashing it to the floor. Inhale up. Inhale up. And visualize this thing, guys. Visualize it in front of you as if you were smashing it to the floor, and show me all of that anger, that rage, and put it into the body. Use the breath. Irrigate the body. Let's go. 3 more times. Sink low into your chair. Engage your thighs. 2 more times. Last time. Give it your all. Come on. And this time, just stay here. You can bring the hands behind, interlock the fingers, give your body a nice stretch. And slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming to stand, open up the hands and just feel into the body for a sec. How do you feel? One hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Come back to your home base. Come back to the breath. Breathe here. Excellent. Slowly just turn the legs out. We're going to come into a wide-legged stance, into your goddess squat. So I want you guys just to send the knees out, and the heels, as you can see, they're nice and lined up, but my toes are kind of facing the other way. So I'm going to sink down into my goddess squat, try and lift my heels up, and lower them down. That's it. Okay, sink down, lift the heels up, lower the heels down. With the hands come by the sides, and you're just going to fold forward. Exhale, release. So inhale, lifting up, come up onto your heels, engage the thighs. Exhale, heels go down, hands go down, release. If you guys can touch the floor, let's try and make the stance a little bit wider and just fold forward. As you fold forward, I want you guys to think of the intention of just letting go. Be loose in the hips, draw the navel in a little bit more, and release the head. Maybe it's a sound that feels like coming out. You can go really deep. One more time, guys. Lengthen halfway, and as you exhale, irrigate the body with sound. Let's try that one more time. Halfway lift. Come onto your tippy toes. Exhale. Drop the hands low. We're slowly going to sink down into your Malasana squat with your knees out, your hips low, and just sinking through the heels. Stay here and breathe for a second. We're going to stay for 5. Try and use the hands as levers to open up the inner hips. You can even go side to side. 4. 3, to take the test a little bit deeper, stretch one hand up. And 2, go over to the other side if you feel so called. And then last one, if you're staying stable, congratulate yourself because you've made it through the hard parts, and just come down onto your hips. Stretch the legs out in front of you and just give it a nice wiggle. We're going to go into Paschimottanasana, or the seated forward fold. For this, you guys can bring your blanket and just allow your blanket to remain. Now, this acts as sort of like a barrier from you and your toes. So what it also creates is this sense of surrendering, this sense of letting go. So I want you guys just to take your blanket or your pillow and push it right underneath the cavity that you would form if you would like really draw your navel in. Keeping this obstacle, but also this sort of like helping hand, which is kind of like our emotions, right? Something that feels like an obstacle, but it's actually here to teach us something. We're going to get the hands by the sides, or if you can, maybe even grab the toes and surrender down, releasing the top of the head. Stay here and breathe, guys. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can slowly come up, coming up to a halfway lift. And then on the next exhale, we're just going to place our pillow or our blanket in front, and we're going to take a pigeon pose by moving our hips. So my right knee is going to go into the pigeon pose, my left leg is going to go behind, and I'm just going to surrender down with my hands just on the pillow. My forehead is down and I'm releasing here. The idea is to get the back leg nice and straight, so even if it takes a while, square your hips, open up your chest, and only when you feel comfortable and ready will you fold forward. So stay in your pigeon pose, breathing in your pigeon pose for as long as you feel like. And as you stay here, just try and come into this sense of stillness. Making a strong determination to not move a single muscle in the body, but just find your edge, moving the hips around, trying to get that left hip down. And when you meet your edge, just see if you can release the gripping in your hands and soften a little bit more. Deep belly breaths. And then ever so slowly and gently, we just walk back, and we're going to switch the legs. So lifting the right knee up, coming back into your plank, and the left knee goes forward this time. I'm trying to get my right hip down to the floor, but first I must square my hips and really sink low before I can go all the way. And then whenever you feel ready, we just go down and breathe here. Allow your bones to become heavy, and just notice the awareness of the breath. Noticing the in-breath, noticing the out-breath. And as you breathe in, I want you guys just to say, I am breathing in. And as you breathe out, I am breathing out. The hips usually hold a lot of tension, so the more we work on the hips, the more we can release that sense of anxiety, sadness, grief, whatever is coming up for you today. The method is to stay completely and totally present with the sensation and soften around it, using the physical body as a structure to allow for this softening. Just have 2 more breaths here. And with the next inhale, slowly coming back, we're going to swing that back leg out in front, and I'm going to come into a Gomukhasana or a cow face pose. So my right knee is over my left, and you can maybe even move the fleshy part out, and I'm going to try and sit tall. So once again, the easiest variation is just to stay here, and that's completely fine. If today this is where the limit is, that's fine. If not, we can use our little bolster or our pillow and soften around it, allowing the head to become heavy And as you inhale, just feeling the rib cage swell, the chest rise. And watch yourself breathe out. Notice how the shoulders relax. And just be here for a few moments. Gently just scanning through the body and noticing any tightness around the hip area. And see if you can let go just a little bit more. See if you can tuck your jaw just over your knee, allowing your shoulder blades to completely relax. Allowing your mind and your body to slow down. And just sense the aliveness in your skull, in your cheeks, in your jaw. As you slowly come up, you can remove the pillow temporarily. We're just going to switch the crossing of the legs. So now my left knee is going to go over my right. Once again, taking time to adjust and find your variation. I like to just bring my chin to my knee and relax down and breathe. But sometimes it feels hard for some people, so find your variation and relax. Allow your brow to be smooth, your eyes just soft. And notice any sensations just on your scalp. And see if you can relax your shoulders a little bit more. Allowing this sense of awareness to just fill your whole body. Filling your bottom body, filling your hands, and whatever tension exists in the mind, allow this to be included within this awareness. See if you can feel that emotion, that feeling from the inside out. Ever so gently and softly, you can come up and perhaps even just release. You're going to stretch the legs out as wide as feels comfortable. And once again, try and rotate the thighs inwards just to try and get the chin towards the floor. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable, once again, getting your pillow or your blanket and just softening and releasing onto the blanket. You can prop up more pillows here, and we just want this softening or this letting go as you can relax more and more, kicking through the heels. Relax the shoulders down. And really think of your whole body like a cup that's filled with this sense of water. Sensing the body just filled with this awareness. As you open up the chest, I want you to feel the back region of your heart and your chest just opening up. See if you can lengthen through the collarbones just a little bit more. And as you open up your chest in this way, but allow it to be supported by a pillow, by the floor, by a mat, you are healing from the inside out. You are supported and you are healing from the inside out. Soften the belly, soften the midsection, and soften the back of the heart, all the way down, softening through the legs and even the feet. Slowly using your hands to lift yourself back up, lengthening through the spine. Drop the chin towards the chest for a second, honoring those feelings, honoring those emotions. And making a strong determination to work with them, to work through them, to work alongside them. As you slowly take your pillow, place it outside. We're going to go into any variation of the Shavasana now. So you can keep your knees out and your feet together and go into a Supta Baddha Konasana by just laying down. Or you can just stretch the feet out and go directly into your Shavasana. Whatever you feel like today, just softening through the belly, softening through the chest, softening each part. You might imagine just this whole earth's vast energy from your toes, up your legs, into your hips, up into your torso, all the way up into your skull, and then back down from your skull into your throat, all the way into your chest and your belly. Just feeling each part down into your hips, all the way out your toes. Stay here and soften. Riding the breath and watching the breath from the inside out. Just let everything be. Whether it's a tingling, a tightness, sense this spaciousness, this aliveness within you. And in this openness, you're listening to and feeling the whole moment. Whatever waves of experience are arising, say yes to what's here. Yes means a deep allowing, a deep relaxing with your moment-to-moment experience. Because as human beings, we're going to have emotions. Getting angry, getting frustrated, getting easily irritable. These are all experiences that are part of life. And we must be willing to have all of these experiences and not deem them or judge them as bad things. But in a lot of situations, our emotions can betray us. They can take you down. And it's in these big moments when there's suddenly a lot of pressure on you, when you have to realize and take control of your emotions. Sometimes you even start to doubt yourself. Can I really do this? But it's all natural. You need to stay completely focused and present in the moment. All you need to do is connect with the breath, and everything else will take care of itself. Stay locked in the present moment and glued to the present moment. Whether that means staying with the breath and observing where in the body it's rising and falling. Maybe you bring one hand onto your belly, the other hand onto your chest, and viscerally just feel it. Take a deep breath. If you can think of your mind as something like a machine, your breath is like the electricity. It's the power source of your concentration. So if you're under pressure or you're feeling overwhelmed by emotions, deep breathing is a way to tell your mind to calm down, to relax. But there's nothing to worry about. So I invite you just to take one more deep breath here. And one more long breath out. The next step is to really put on these blinders. Now it's unbelievable how those horses in the races can really just put on those blinders and just focus and zero in on the present moment. They have these betting announcers, they have the crowd cheering, but they just remain locked in the present moment without worries of the past or anxiety of the future. They just do what they have to do, which is run. For you in this moment, it's just to stay locked in the present moment with your breath as the anchor, zeroing in on your goal, on what you are meant to achieve or what you're trying to get done in this time. So take a few moments just to visualize your singular focus. Allow everything else to disappear in this present moment and breathe into it. The third step is about the noise. There are 1,000 things that are fighting for your attention at this very moment. Whether it's notifications on your phone or social media or other people calling you and asking for your time, deadlines, whatever it may be. When this moment arrives, there is no past, no future, just this present moment. A big part of this is just letting other people's emotions slide off you. Don't take on their emotions and react. You can't get rattled, you can't lose your focus, and you can't get tense. Perhaps you're fighting an inner battle as well, so offer yourself this kind presence and say yes to whatever is arising for you today. As you stay here, just sort of bring your attention back to your body's contact with the floor. And remember, emotions serve a purpose, but our job is to meet them and soften. And the more we can do this, the more we'll find this space within our bodies and minds to think through new solutions, to find ways to get our feelings to just be and get our needs met as well. So take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, take a long breath out and just let it go. One more deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. You can stay in Shavasana for as long as you feel like, integrating this experience and allowing your body for deep, deep rest. Namaste, and thank you so much for practicing with me today.